Welcome back to the car update. When you first hear the name 2026 Ford Shelby GT500, something immediately changes in the room. This is not just another sports car name. It is one of the most respected badges in American performance history. The GT500 has always stood for raw power, intimidating road presence, supercharged muscle, and the kind of driving experience that makes every startup feel like an event. Now the legend appears ready for a modern return. While Ford had not fully detailed every official specification at the time, many reports surfaced. Multiple credible industry sources and spy sightings strongly indicated a new high performance Mustang Halo model was in development for the 2026 model year. Rumors linked it to a new Legend engine program and heavily modified Mustang test cars seen in Michigan, and if that becomes reality, the 2026 Shelby GT500 could be one of the wildest Mustangs ever built. The first thing you would notice is the stance. A GT500 never looks subtle. It needs to look like power even when parked. Based on prototypes and expectations, the 2026 model would likely feature a wider body than the standard Mustang, more aggressive front fenders, deeper front splitter elements, larger cooling openings, and a hood designed not just for style, but serious airflow management. Spy photos and reports describe larger intakes, flared aero elements, and quad exhaust styling. That matters because a car like this needs cooling. Massive power creates massive heat, and the GT500 has always been engineered to handle punishment. At the front, the headlights would likely retain the sharp modern Mustang signature, but everything around them would feel more purposeful. Larger grille openings, functional ducts, and sharper body shaping would separate it instantly from lower trims. This would be the kind of car people recognize from mirrors before they can read the badge dot from the side. The profile would likely stay true to Mustang DNA. Long hood, short rear deck, wide shoulders, fast back roofline, but on a GT500, the details tell the real story. Wider tires, larger brakes, aggressive wheel designs, lower ride height, and a more planted posture would give the car that unmistakable top-tier performance. Presence. Then you move to the rear. This is where muscle car drama often peaks. Expect a sculpted rear diffuser, larger exhaust outlets, functional spoiler options, and the kind of stance that makes the car look ready to launch even when standing still. Carbon fiber, aero pieces, or track-focused packages would not be surprising either, especially considering prior GT500 generations. Now open the door and step inside. The cabin of a 2026 GT500 would likely blend Mustang familiarity with serious performance upgrades. Expect heavily bolstered sports seats, premium materials, contrast stitching, Shelby branding, aluminum trim, and a driver-focused cockpit. You would sit low, with the hood stretching out ahead of you. That feeling matters, because cars like this are emotional before they even move. A large digital instrument cluster would likely offer multiple display themes, including track-oriented layouts with tachometer priority, lap timing, performance data, and customizable screens. The center infotainment system would likely include navigation, smartphone connectivity, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, premium audio, climate controls, and drive mode settings. Modern muscle cars no longer rely only on horsepower. They now combine brute force with real technology. Now, let's talk about the most important part. The engine. Reports strongly suggested the next GT500 would use a new or heavily revised high output V8 under the codename Legend. Some analysts believed it could be related to Ford's supercharged 5.2-liter heritage, while others speculated output could exceed the last GT500's 760 horsepower. Nothing final was confirmed in those early reports, but expectations were enormous, and honestly, they should be, because the GT500 name demands insanity. Imagine pressing the starter button. The cabin wakes up, the exhaust erupts, the idle settles into a deep, mechanical rhythm. That first moment alone would justify the badge. Then you touch the throttle even. A small input should feel serious. This is not a car built to feel ordinary, it is built to feel dangerous. In the best possible way, acceleration would likely be violent. If output lands in the rumored 760 horsepower range, 0 to 60 miles per hour times could challenge elite sports cars, while quarter-mile performance would remain brutally competitive. But straight-line speed is only part of the story now. Modern GT500 models also chase corners. That means adaptive suspension, performance-tuned chassis systems, advanced traction control, launch control, electronic line lock features, and track-capable cooling systems would likely be part of the package. Previous GT500 models proved Ford could make a muscle car that also turns, stops, and survives track abuse. The 2026 version would be expected to go even further. Now imagine taking it onto an open road at low speed. The car would likely feel surprisingly civilized. Modern Mustangs have become much more refined than old-school muscle machines. But then you find an empty stretch. You switch to sport or track mode. Throttle sharpens. Exhaust opens. Suspension tightens. You squeeze the accelerator. And suddenly the entire personality changes. That transformation is what makes Halo performance cars special. They can cruise calmly one moment and become absolute monsters the next. Now let's talk braking. A GT with this level of speed would almost certainly need huge brakes. Brembo hardware, track compounds, and possibly optional carbon ceramic systems would be logical. Strong braking confidence changes how fast a car truly feels, because it lets drivers use the power more often. Tires would also be serious business. Expect ultra-high performance rubber, wide rear sections, and track package options with even stickier compounds. This car would need every bit of grip available. Now, let's talk daily usability. People often assume machines like this are impossible to live with, but modern performance cars are smarter than that. The 2026 GT500 would likely offer selectable drive modes, softer suspension settings, usable backup cameras, safety systems, and enough cabin comfort for normal driving. Yes, fuel economy would not be the headline. Yes, rear visibility may be compromised. Yes, tires may disappear faster than your patience, but buyers of cars like this understand the trade. They are not buying transportation, are buying emotion. They are buying presence, are buying that feeling of starting a supercharged V8 in the morning. Now let's discuss price. A new GT500 would likely sit at the top of the Mustang lineup, potentially well above dark horse pricing and possibly into six-figure territory depending on packages, dealer markups, and special editions. Some industry estimates for related top-tier Mustang performance models climbed above $100,000. That sounds high, but Halo cars are not priced only by metal and leather. They are priced by legend. Now, emotionally, this is where the GT500 wins, because some cars are fast, some are expensive, some are technically impressive, but only a few make people stop talking when they arrive. The Shelby GT500 has always been one of those cars. Children point at it. Adults remember older generations. Car people gather around it, and owners keep finding excuses to drive it. At the end of the day, the 2026 Ford Shelby GT500 represents more than horsepower numbers or lap times. It represents the survival of unapologetic performance. It represents American muscle evolving instead of disappearing. It represents a machine that still believes driving. It should feel loud, dramatic, and unforgettable. If Ford truly unleashes it, this will not be just another Mustang.